Welcome to Math with Mrs. Cox. We're on page 807 in your math book. This is chapter 11, lesson 2, converting customary units of length. Let's begin. For many of the thrill rides at amusement parks, riders must be at least 48 inches tall. Shin is 4 feet tall. Is he tall enough to ride the ride at an amusement park? We're converting 4 feet to inches. Since 1 foot equals 12 inches, multiply 4 by 12. So 4 by 12 is 48. So 4 feet is 48 inches. Is Shane tall enough to ride the rides? Yes. Using division to recheck your answer, we take the 48 and we stick it right here. (48) divided by 4 is 12, so we know we are correct. The units of length are often used in the United States are inch, foot, yard, and mile. These units are part of the customary system. In America, we use a customary system. Around the world, they use a metric system. They think we're nuts. But here's what you need to memorize. 1 foot is 12 inches. 1 yard is 3 feet or 36 inches. And 1 mile is 5,280, or a really fun way you can remember that is 5 tomatoes. 5280, 5 tomatoes. So a mile is 5 tomatoes, 5280 feet, or 1,760 yards. Now, you need this for at least 2 questions in the next 13 chapters and 1 question on the test. So it's good to memorize that 1 mile is 1,760 yards. And it's also a good idea on this page in your book that you dog-ear it or bend the corner down so you can find this page easily because you can use this on your test if you wish. Okay, when you convert measurements, you change from one unit to another. Here's what we like to say. A horse is large, so from horse to fly, you multiply. And a fly is small, so from fly to horse, you divide, of course. So we will be saying that quite a bit in our class. And don't worry, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, we'll talk about it more as we go throughout the lesson. Next page. Example 2. We are going to convert 42 inches to feet. So this is fly to horse. We divide, of course. Since you are changing from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you divide. So here's 42 inches. We know there are 12 inches in a foot. That's why we put the 12 out here. So 12 will go into 42 at least 3 times. 3 times 12 is 36. 12 minus 6 is 6. So we have 3 feet and 6 inches left. So the remainder, 6, means there are 6 inches left over. 42 inches equals 3 feet and 6 inches. Okay, but we have to write it as a fraction, or a decimal is another way. A fraction is a foot, the fraction of the foot is 6 inches are left over, and we know that in a foot there are 12 inches total. This can be converted into 1/2. We divide both 6 and 12 by 6, and you get 1/2 if you're a factor ninja and chop it down. So we understand that 42 inches is 3.5 feet. So 42 inches is equal to 3 feet, 6 inches, or 3.5 feet. You can write them both ways, and they mean the same. And this 3.5 would be the decimal form. Okay, number 1, complete 60 inches equals how many feet? Well, we are going from inches to feet, so this is from fly to horse. We divide, of course. 60 divided by 12. So if we get 60 divided by 12, look on my cheat sheet on my desk and realize my times tables chart that 12 will go into 60 5 times. So it's 5 feet. So 60 inches equals 5 feet. Okay, number 2, we have 16 yards equals how many feet? Now, a yard is bigger than a foot. So we're going from horse to fly, so we multiply. 16 times 3. Okay, 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, 48. 16 times 3 is 48. So 16 yards equals 48 feet. Number 3, we are also converting inches to feet. Inch is smaller than a foot. There are 12 inches in a foot. So we're going fly to horse, divide, of course. So we're going to take 12 or 72 divided by 12. You can look on your times table chart to see what that works, or you can just remember that 6 will work perfectly for that. 6 times 12 is 72. 72 inches is 6 feet. Number 4, we're going from yards to inches. Horse to fly, you multiply. So we have 36 inches in 1 yard, and we have 19 yards we're timesing it by. Please make sure you write this down. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 3 is 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 32. Then we're going to draw a turtle head, drop an egg. 2 times 9 is 18. Excuse me. Let me redo that again. Okay, we have 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. Get my multiplication going on right here, right? We add them together. We have 4, 8, 9. 984. Whoops, excuse me. Making lots of mistakes. 684. 684. I guess I need some chocolate. I'm not making correct addition. So 19 yards converted into inches is 684 inches. Okay, number 5. We have inches to feet. So fly to horse, divide, of course. Okay, so we're taking 40 inches. We know there's 12 feet in an inch. Excuse me, 12 inches in a foot. Get this correct going on here. 12 will go into 40. 4 is too many. Let's try 3. 3 times 12 is 36. 10 minus 6 is 4. So I'm going to have 3 feet, but then I have 4 left over out of 12. But I can simplify that. So I can divide them both by 4. So then my answer is going to be 3 feet and 1/4. So number 5 is 3 feet and 1/3, not 1/4. Haha, I almost made a mistake there. So number 5, 40 inches would equal 3 feet and 1/3 of a foot. Ooh, this one's a fun one. Feet to miles. Now, in every mile, there are 5 tomatoes. 5280. 5,280 feet, 5 tomatoes. So you could divide this number by this number, but that'd be a lot of work. Or you could do a guess and check and just times this number by 3, by 4. I like to do subtraction. So let's subtract this and just make a nice, beautiful pattern here. All right, 0 minus 0 is 0. Unfortunately, I cannot take 8 from 2, so I have to borrow from the 9, turn it into an 8. Make that a 12. There we go. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. 8 minus 2 is 6. 7 minus 5 is 2. Okay, so I know I have 1 mile for sure right here. And looking at this number, I know that's not quite a mile. But I'll tell you a secret. And this book uses this kind of formula at least 3 or 4 times in the next 13 chapters. This is a half of a mile. And here I'll show you. If you do 2, 6, 4, 0, you don't have to write this. I'm just showing you so you understand a concept. Don't write this in your desk or on your board, on your math book. 0, 8, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, when I add 2,640 with 2,640 equals our 5 tomatoes. So I do know that this is 1/2 of a mile, and that will help us out quite a bit. Now I need to erase all of this work because we need room for other stuff. So our answer for number 6 will be 1 1/2 of a mile, or you could also write it like this, 1.5. So either of those answers would be acceptable. Number 7, we are going from yard to inches. Now, every yard has 36 inches. So we're going from big unit to little unit. So horse to fly, multiply. So there's 36 inches in 1 yard, and I have 6 of these yards here. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21. 216 inches is number 7. All right. Ooh, another mile. Feet to mile. Now remember, feet are smaller than a mile, and there's 5 tomatoes in a mile. 5,280. Now you could take this big number, divide by 5,280, or you could take 5,280 over here and do a guess and check with like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 and see what you get. Or you could subtract. I do happen to know a little secret though with this one. So I'm going to switch and I'm going to multiply and do a guess and check. So I'm going to write 5,280 over here. And I'm looking at this number, and I know that 5 kind of goes into this number about 5 times. So I'm going to take this 5,280, 5 tomatoes, times 5 to see if I'm anywhere close to this number. Okay, it'll save me a lot of work. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14. 5 times 5 is 25. Plus 1 is 6. 26. So there it is. So this beautiful big number is 5 miles. And we didn't have to do a ton of work because we looked at it and analyzed it. Number 9, we're going from feet to inches. So we're going from something big to something small. So horse to fly, we multiply. So every foot has 12 inches, and I have 9 feet here. And you can do your multiplication and realize that equals 108. Number 10, this one's fun. We have a remainder. So we have this many feet that we have to see how many yards we can pull out of and how it's left over. All right, feet to yard, fly to horse, divide, of course. So we have 22, and I know that 3 feet equal a yard. So let's see how many yards we can pull out of this. 3 will go into 21 7 times. 22 7 times. 7 times 3 is 21. And I have 1 left over. So I have 7 yards, and I take this remainder and I pull it over here, and 1 foot left over. I could say 1 out of 3 if it asked me how many yards, but it's asking me exactly for the foot, so I don't have to add the 1 out of 3. We had quite the debate about this in our class today. So your answer to 10 is 7 yards, 1 foot. Okay, number 11. We have inches to feet in inches. We have a remainder again. So we're taking something small into something big. So fly to horse, divide, of course. So 51, and I know there's 12 inches in a foot. So 12 will go into 51 4 times. 4 times 12 is 48. This will be a 4. This will become an 11. 8, 9, 10, 11, 0. So then I have 4 feet, and I have 3 inches left. And that's what my answer is going to be. Okay, this is where we're going to compare. The easiest way to compare is to look and see which one's the smallest unit. Do we have inches or feet? Which one's smaller? Inches. So we need to convert everything to inches. This is already in inches. We need to convert this one to inches. So feet, there's 2 feet. So I know there's 12 inches in a foot, and there's 2 of them here. So that's 24. Then I'm going to add this to it. So I know there's 27 inches there. So now I can compare 22 to 27. Well, I know 27 is bigger. Alligator jaws are going to go that way, greater than. Number 13, we're looking at these measurements. This is yard, this is feet. Feet are smaller. So yard, I know that every yard has 3 feet in it. And I've got 7 yards. This is 21. So comparing 21 and 20, I know that 21 is bigger. 7 yards is bigger than 20 feet. Ooh, this one's fun. Miles. So 5 tomatoes, 5280. And I'm just going to add 5280. I could times it. Whatever is up to you. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, looking at that. Oh, wait, this is yards. Okay. Undo all that I just did. That's why I have to read and pay attention. Seriously. Okay, so we know that each mile has 1,760. 1,760. This is why you pay attention. This is one of those crazy numbers you just need to remember. So we can add those together. I just liked adding. That's why I did that other one. 15 and 3. Oh my goodness. 2 miles is 20 feet bigger than 3,500 yards. So that sign will go like that. All right, number 15, we have feet and yards. Well, I'm going to convert them to feet because feet's the smallest. So I know there are 3 feet in every yard. Okay, so over here, I'm going to take 4 yards times 3 feet equals 12. So I can know that 12 is more than 11. So that is greater than. Okay, inches and yards. There are 36 inches in a yard. So 36 times 2. 1, 2, 6, 7. 72 and 72 are even, so we get do an equal sign there. Ooh, 5.5. That's fun. And inches. Okay, the smallest unit is inches. So yards, I know that there are 36 inches in a yard, and I'm just going to times this by 5.5. Now remember, when we multiply at the decimal, we just ignore it for a minute. Let's just do our work. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 3 is 15, 16, 17, 18, 180. Change my color. Going to do a turtle head, drop an egg. 5 times 6 is 30 again. 5 times 3 is 15, 16, 17, 18. I do 180 right here. Plus 0.891. And I have 1 decimal point, so I go over 1 decimal point. There we go. So I know that 5.5 yards is like 180 inches, and that is like 6 inches bigger than 192. So the greater than sign goes that direction. All right, next page. We're going to actually skip that page. Go ahead and show me your work, and then we'll work on the homework. Thank you.